Hiya, and thank you for joining myself and the head for another discussion on the subject of me, and more about me. I'm going to answer some more of your questions from the selection that was sent in to me. Hopefully I won't repeat any from last time, but I've kind of forgotten where we left off, so apologies for that. But we'll start with a question from JVDub, who actually asked several questions, and we'll see if we can warm you up with these ones. Who says, does or did your wife think you would have gender reassignment?
Yes, I did.
Really? Tell us more about this.
For quite a few years, I asked you the escalation. Where is it going to escalate?
Yep.
Until pretty recently, I think, didn't I? Yes, I think I stopped asking that question until very recently.
I'd say maybe a year or two. It's not super recent that you stopped talking about that. But it hasn't come up recently. Yeah, it was your thing about the escalation thing was about me letting you know little bits and more stuff because we didn't have everything out on the table to begin with, so it wasn't.
And the more people you got to know, the more invitations you received. You wanted to go out more often.
Yeah, actually having
a
circle of friends. Yes. So what do you think changed? For example, why don't you ask now? Are you convinced now that I won't?
Not 100%, still.
Do you think that could ever be something you're convinced of?
That's a good question. I'm not sure, actually.
What would it take? Other than, would it take me never cross-dressing again or never dressing again? Would you even believe it then?
Oh, I see. If one day you come up and say, "Oh, I'm done with this," then yeah, I wouldn't question. I'll say, okay, so that was a phase, and
it's a hell of a phase.
Well,
according to my father, my brother's still going through a phase. He is, of course, now married to a man, but still a phase. Okay, so next question was, and we'll probably revisit that through some other questions.
Okay.
Do you venture out with me when I'm dressed? We've covered this, but
venture out, like going out, doing stuff. We have been out a few times. It's the babysitting situation. I wouldn't mind going out. I am not feeling like, oh gosh, I have to attend everywhere you go. It's super fun, crazy, or I can't trust you. I need to keep an eye on you. I have to be there. But I don't mind. It's interesting. The people I met were so annoyingly lovely.
We are
very, very
lovely,
nice,
lovely breed of people.
which makes it really hard to dislike them.
Okay. So yeah, we've done Pink Panthers once.
Yeah. So first time I went out was a friend's birthday, and then Pink Panthers.
What would be your and then we went to
theatre. Yeah.
So of those three, which would be your
and
favorite?
The Pride.
Yes, actually, that's 4 now.
Oh yeah.
Keep taking them up. That's another one this year. Which of the 4 was your favourite? Which was the most, I don't know, relaxed or enjoyable?
Oh gosh, I would say probably the last one was more relaxed because we were there as a family, and it Pride. It was very natural. It felt really natural, but I can't say I felt uncomfortable when we were out. When we went to the theatre, we walked a while.
Yeah.
I felt like all the eyes were on you, which was interesting because
partially my fault for wearing heels that were too big for me and kept stumbling?
No, but where we were, it wasn't like a club district that there. You were the only cross-dresser there
Yes, yeah.
at that time of the night, especially evening.
Well, yeah, it was broad daylight, so
Exactly.
afternoon sun. Quite warm.
Exactly. So of course people would look, but yes, it's not because you were walking wonky or
This
anything.
wig's a bit of a standout one as well.
Mm.
Okay, fab. So next question, still from...
I don't know whether I answered it good enough though.
No, it's okay. We covered going out dressed on the last one as well. So here's an interesting one. Do you struggle to, and also with our daughter, do you struggle to keep my cross-dressing a secret? Do you struggle with not telling people, for example?
Yes, I was telling this year, I feel like, well, maybe I should start telling people because I didn't want them to find out through our daughter or, I don't know, finding out about you somewhere other than me telling them. But struggle is not like, oh gosh, I have this terrible thing, I have to share it with someone, it's unbearable, please help me and support me. Or it is not like, oh yeah, check this out. It is just an interesting information to share,
Sure.
which I don't feel ashamed, but I am not how to put it. Yeah, like a yeah. I don't know the right word.
Yeah. It's not like it's going to come out because you're so excited to talk about it.
Yes, I can't keep it. I have to share.
Devastated, you need someone to cry on their shoulder.
Yes, exactly.
But now you have a friend who knows and considering someone else, so it's positive anyway. How about our daughter? Do you think she struggles with not telling people?
Oh, I don't know. Her age, she might want to share, but it's because she's very proud, and that might be her thing. She might want to tell about you. This is what's happening. Yeah. So we'll see.
I trust her, and even if she did tell someone, I'm kind of prepared for that. So I'm not.
Oh yeah,
I'm not so worried that it's. She shouldn't. I don't think she feels pressure from us to keep it a big secret. It's simply we've taught her the difference between what we talk about within our family and what we might talk about with friends, and we trust her to do that.
Yes, so it will make a difference. It's not like, oh, shh, nobody should know. Yeah, that would be a tricky one. Yes.
Perfect. So we'll ask. This is a question. So. We talked about this last time, but we didn't get to go into it. So Ashley Brooke asks, she'd love to hear what advice you would give to other women who have just found out that their husbands cross-dress, based on your experiences and insight. So what advice would you give to a woman who's found out?
I would say I think it's okay to panic if they feel panicky, if this is not what they were expected to face. And then try to read information online, try to find information online and talk.
Did you find any of the information helpful? For example, you bought that book, My Husband Betty.
Yes, I didn't get to read that very much actually. And it got under the bed and I never managed to take it out. So you might have found it when you moved the bed away.
It's in the attic.
Yeah, there we go. I didn't even know where it was.
I'm going to leave it out for the builders. They can see what they think about that.
Yeah.
Statistically, one of them is gay. given the number of them that will be coming over. So there you go.
So yes, or if they have a friend, which I didn't have any friend to sit down and have a talk, if they are lucky enough to have a friend to talk, yeah, go for it. And yeah, it took me a long time to come to terms with it and trust you. But you didn't give up on talking. That helped.
Yeah, it did take a long time, but my thing would be, and this is difficult about, it's like when people ask me about, I think I mentioned this previously, about advice for no longer drinking. It's hard because I don't really have any. I just, drank until I couldn't drink anymore and then stopped. So with us, what I think is odd is that what we really needed was time for two things to happen. One, to rebuild trust, but also almost for you to change your mind. That's the way I see it. You may see it differently, but for you to perhaps unlearn some of the stereotypes you grew up with.
Yes, that's why meeting your friends at that birthday party, and seeing few people at Pink Panthers, that was helpful. That was not what I was expecting.
Because generally we're all kind of just normal blokes.
No, very nice people. They were very, very nice. No one spoke like bloke.
Right, we try. I didn't introduce you to the blokey ones.
Right. Okay.
Best foot forward. Okay, you can just.
If you finish, you can go and play in your room, my love.
Okay. Did you record how much time it took for you to do it?
I recorded how much time I had left.
Okay.
It's in my book.
Which is how much time left?
I don't remember, but it's in my book.
Okay, perfect. So you've got 100% right.
Wait, are you taking a video?
Yeah.
Oh.
So you got 100% right? Because you definitely don't need to check it. You got 100% right. Brilliant. Anything less than 100% and it's no pizza. That can stay in, actually. That'll be fine. Okay, last one. Actually, I'll go back to this one. How about my lack of body hair? What are your thoughts about my lack of my perfectly smooth,
I don't like, that.
My perfectly smooth, amazing skin. What do you feel about that?
Yeah,
it's amazing.
Plugged chicken, raw chicken.
That hurts. Like a plucked chicken. Like the last turkey in the shop. Nice. You've got a way of words, haven't you?
I never like it. I'm not a one that sexy man should be hairy. Okay. But I mean, yes, I need little hair. You need to be hairier than I am.
Okay, so hairier than you are.
Yes.
I'm not sure I managed that when I had my hair.
Oh,
but,
the what?
Like a gorilla. So.
Are you tempting?
What? So let me just do this, okay? This is my head and this is my feet. Okay, so I'm moving together. So if we go down, legs, hairless legs. What are your thoughts on that?
Ladle-like.
Is that a big problem or is that not such a problem?
Oh, I'm used to it now, but I mean, yeah, it's not
like an Olympic cyclist. That's what you're thinking.
No,
swimmer,
I don't.
An Olympic swimmer.
I don't know. I've never been with an Olympic cyclist or swimmer.
Wow.
I am now.
If anyone asks, you know what it's like.
Okay.
So chest, how about that?
How about what?
Is that a problem area for hair? I'm trying to say, is it the whole thing, or is it parts that are more? We're moving towards the middle. So which bits are better or worse for you? Because I hate body hair, so
Yeah, no,
I don't
I
like chest
a
hair.
very moderate hair all around, please. Thank you very much.
Everywhere. Back? You prefer if I had a hairy back?
No, that is not a usual place for people.
Double standards. There's loads of men who have hairy backs. I'll show you a picture of Sami Zayn.
I don't know who that is, but
See,
yeah, there are some men
hairy
with
shoulders.
the curly, forest-looking backs. No.
Then there is no pleasing you. You cannot be too hairy, you cannot be not hairy enough.
No, if you were
Yes.
a guy with the back hair, I wouldn't have asked you to get rid of them.
Okay,
Let me tell you that way.
fine.
That
okay.
much.
I just feel like you have a bit of a Goldilocks thing when it comes to hair.
What do you mean? Not too
Not
much.
too hairy, not
Okay.
too hairless. Just right.
Just right. Moderate, that's what I'm saying. Moderate.
Okay.
So you let your hair grow now, which is good.
Yes, although if anything, that's more feminine.
Yes,
so you don't
but
like the buzz cut. See, there's a good compromise. So I'm growing my hair longer for you. There you go. See.
Yeah, but it doesn't cover the other bits.
Yeah, well, I've got clothes for that.
Okay.
This is from Marina, who has questions. What are there any boundaries that you have established? So there's an interesting question coming up. What boundaries have we established for what I can or can't do, for example?
You can't get dressed like this if I have my friends or our daughter's friends coming over.
Yep.
We haven't attended any family stuff, so you're not dressed up like that when your family is here.
True. How often I dress?
Yes, it will be an interesting point if you say you want to get dressed up every day like this, but you haven't asked it once a week. I don't have any problem with that.
How long's it been, do you reckon?
Since when?
5, 6 years since we had the conversation about how often I could or should dress.
Yeah, probably like that. 5, 6.
About 5, 6 years.
Probably.
So it was originally going out once a month and dressing once a week, which I think on average I dress less than once a week because I don't often dress more than once a week, if ever. So on average I should dress less than once a week because just on average, but not much less.
No, you dress up once. Sometimes you dress up for your dress up day and then you go out on the weekend, so that makes 2.
True. And then going out, I'd say on average I probably go out between 10 and 15 times a year, so sometimes a little bit more, sometimes less because I skip a few events in the summer.
Yes.
So yeah, averaging. So we're not super strict about it these days either. Okay, so those are the main boundaries. Other than that, obviously we don't have a boundary on me not being dressed when you're around. So it's okay for me to be dressed. How do you think that came about? Because I don't think we ever agreed that. I think I just kind of...
I think you were late. Either you were late to get back or get back to male outfit, or we came back home early.
Because there was that time I was going to that party and you were out on the deck with our daughter.
But when she didn't know that.
No, she didn't know at the time.
Yes.
And I was leaving in the car. I had to leave dressed. So she kind of saw me leave, but I don't think she really registered what she was saying. She was trying to see as I was driving out. So it was after that, I think, we started talking about how soon she should know, and these things should be more obvious. Okay, now this is an interesting, more general one. What say do you have in Juliette's life? So essentially, how much do you feel in control of what happens with Juliette, if at all?
Yes, I don't think I have a massive say on. You moderate your behavior thinking that I wouldn't like, such as not accepting every invitation, so you are out all the time, or posting less photos that I wouldn't approve of, but you still do stuff, so it's not like you close that book.
Yeah.
Never this kind of photos.
We
You
definitely
do that,
don't agree on that, do we? There are types of photos that I would take and post that would go, which I think of as being, my kind of justification is, if it's, let's say, tasteful and tasteful's, everyone's got a different idea of what tasteful means, but if it's the kind of thing that you might see on the cover of a magazine from a pop star or a model or something, then in general I don't have a problem with that. But that's not where
exactly. I wouldn't do the same thing myself. I don't have social media anyway, but I wouldn't have posted.
By your choice, just before she is allowed to have social media.
Yes.
She chose to wipe out Facebook and everything else because she's tired of it. So it's not.
Yes. I'm not locked in the house.
It's not because I'm worried she'll talk to people and get a life somewhere else.
No.
But yeah, that was...
No, it's definitely my choice. I'm not going back, and I'm happy with it.
Perfect. So yeah, I definitely post stuff that you're not approve of. I think that's clear.
Yep.
But
you try to moderate the amount of photos you take like that, I think.
And I would post what you would consider to be worse stuff if I didn't have your influence. I think that's clear.
I am sure you would, yes.
Yeah.
Yes, but no, there are... Yes, I am not fully in control at all. But I don't think it would have been fair either if... Yeah, it would be control. No, that wouldn't be right. I think it will be like a controlling husband on a wife. That's not acceptable. What we are trying to do is moderation. So you compromise, I compromising. Okay, fine. Sometimes you dress up with like a super petite skirt going out for night, and I wouldn't be thrilled if it was our daughter dressed up like that.
That's going to be an interesting
when
for me at some point in the future. Is what happens
if your daughter is
dressing
like you do,
like I dress. When she wants to go out and she's not with me. If she was with me, I don't know, I'd like to think I'd be cool about that, but when she's not with me, that's going to be difficult. However, as I will point out to her, and I will say, is that I will be happy for her to dress like that at around about the same age I was when I started dressing like that, which is about 35. So I have no problem with her starting to wear those things from about 35 years old. That's fine by me. Okay. How do you feel about, or how do you see the future with Juliette, especially with how I am or am not evolving? That's also from Marina. Do you have a vision of where we'll be in 5 years, for example?
I think more people might know. I don't know, I can see us having a party when you are dressed up like this.
I'd like to do that for my 50th. 6 years' time.
But I wouldn't want to become a couple who turns up to an invitation, because we are always like up and around the dinner invitations, and
We are popular.
not knowing how we are going to turn up. Is it going to be us, you male or female, dressed up? So yes, I don't want to become a family like that, not knowing how you are dressed up that day.
Yeah.
So I still say your default outfit should be male.
So this is a bit of a niche reference, but you don't want us to be like, or you don't want other people to be like the guys on that Mitchell and Webb look. But like, should we invite her? Say, yes, she's lovely, but there's a chance, just a chance, she might bring the other woman. Yeah, I can see that. I don't see it being majorly different. People have asked me whether I think I'll stop dressing. I don't see it. I don't do it because I don't think of it as like a youth thing. I don't feel like it's something I'll never do when I'm older.
I thought you said that before, no?
Well,
You said if you
get
look
older, and you don't feel like you're older. You don't feel older.
Oh,
so,
I see.
That to me is like the arrogance of youth, thinking, "Oh, I'll only dress when I'm, good looking or something." But the reality is, it's not an external thing; it's an internal thing. So, really, why would it change? I don't know. So far, it hasn't, and my face is only getting lower. Nothing's getting tighter. So, got to up those makeup skills. So, a question from Samantha, who wants to ask, can I ask, does your wife look, this is Samantha CD, does your wife look for things for Juliette? So he said, my wife knows about Samantha, but when she's shopping, she will text me about shoes, dresses she thinks I would like. Does your wife do the same?
I tried. I think it was me who bought the jeggings or jeans.
Yes, the black,
super skinny.
The black ones from, I can't remember where they're from now.
Probably H&M.
It was H&M.
Yes, I went to H&M one day, did quite a few shopping to cover your modesty.
Yeah, that was back when you still tried to stop those outfits. But they're nice, I've worn them.
But yeah, that's the thing. I asked you if you, last time when you went to that, like, I forgot, the drag queen thingy, exhibition.
Drag World.
Yes, Drag World. On the way back, I said, do you want to come and have a look at Lipsy?
Yeah.
And because I know you like that brand, and the shop was there, but you are not you don't go out and shop for yourself anyway. You buy everything online. So I don't have any. So if you wanted to go out to buy something for Juliette, I wouldn't mind going out with you. It would be interesting, like going with a teenager trying to find the most revealing outfit.
Well, that's the thing. I do most of my shopping online, so I don't feel I want to go shopping in shops. I've never enjoyed it. I'm a hunter. If I want something, I go get it. I don't like browsing, and I never really have. Although, having said that, I do find I'm more tolerant. We don't do a lot of clothes shopping together anyway, but I'm more tolerant of when you want to browse, and I will give opinions much more readily, and I'll sort of contribute to general conversations about clothes more readily these days. But we don't do it that much. And if anything, you're more of a benefiter than I am from this. As can be attested by the lovely, what brand was it?
Karen Millen.
Karen Millen, yes. I bought, Karen Millen and I disagree on what the nature is of a size 14. Since my wife is a size 10 usually.
8 or 10, yes.
I'm a size 14. I bought a Karen Millen top, which is quite see-through, but it's lovely.
Gorgeous.
It fits you perfectly, so you get a little hand-me-down.
Yes.
Lovely little Karen Millen hand-me-down.
Yes.
So you've benefited a lot more.
I got the monsoon top as well.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's another one. That was another lovely one. You really,
quite a
hashtag
few.
blessed. Hashtag she's blessed.
And quite a few Jules t-shirts.
Yeah, that's true.
A few years ago, you bought what, 5?
I bought. They were size 12. Did I buy? I was way too optimistic about that.
Oh yeah.
I was even chubby back then, so I don't know what I was thinking. So I won't ask you that one.
Why not?
Oh, we've kind of covered this one.
Oh.
No, I'll do this one, okay. So we kind of covered this, but Chad Santos asks, and you can just refresh on this one. What does your wife think of you when you dress more scandalous? And the question for me, would I feel comfortable if she exposed the same amount of skin on the internet?
Oh.
And this is where I don't have double standards.
Well done,
So
Chad, right? The name
Yeah,
is...
Chad, yeah. Chad.
Good question, Chad.
So what do you think when I dress more scandalous?
I don't like it. Because I think it looks like as if you are looking for a companion.
Fair enough. Okay. So, luckily for me in this sense, I don't have double standards. If you did the same, okay, because I'll put it this way. This is totally unconnected. But, you know when people list off their Facebook friends and they talk about how many friends they've got on Facebook? And the reality is that no one has really more than 4 or 5 good friends.
Mm-hmm.
Even a social circle, as humans, we're not really capable of maintaining a social circle of more than about 20 odd people. So when you have 5,000 Facebook friends, I'm firmly of the belief that you don't know any of them. Almost all of them, they're not friends. They are people you've come across, and a Facebook friend is not the same as a real world friend. So I view it this way. Posting some kind of risque photo online and having lots of people look at it is no more real than Facebook friends. If, however, you answered the door to the postman with your knockers out, that I would consider to be crossing a line, because it's a real world incursion.
Yes, but
online stuff, I don't see it as a threat.
And how about going out dressed in...
Chad's question was about... Oh no, it was about dressing.
Yeah.
Oh, about how would I feel comfortable if she exposed the same amount of skin on the internet? So as far as the internet's concerned,
okay.
I really wouldn't care, because it's, I'd have an opinion on it, but I wouldn't say, no, that's disgraceful, you mustn't do that. I don't have that double standard.
But what I don't understand is, why don't I put stuff like that? Why don't I start an Instagram page and start putting super sexy photos? Why do you think I don't do that?
Why?
Yes.
I have no idea. Why don't you? I mean, you closed Facebook. You don't like online stuff.
I
know why I do it.
It is to show off.
It's for,
and
well,
mostly, hopefully, I might be able to find someone. So look at me, boobies, and I don't think it is. I am talking about that sort of photos, not, of course, putting your family pictures or holiday pictures is trying to find someone, but the type of photos I don't like with, what are they called, suspenders?
Yeah, suspenders.
Stockings or underwear, or lying on a bed in a sexy position, this and that. Those kind of photos are Yes, why would you post? If you want to share those kind of views, share it with your partner, but why with people you don't know?
Okay, so two things. The showing off thing isn't unfair. Some of it's more about validation. So it's more about having other people kind of reinforce your belief that you're okay. The main thing is this. When you first start out in doing what I do, there are periods when you look in the mirror and you think, what am I doing? This is, this is awful. Or am I a freak? Am I weird, etc.? And having people, because it's very difficult to get people to validate you in real life, to say, yes, I know you're fine, you're normal. It's quite difficult to find that, especially when you're hiding it from a partner. Posting stuff online, even if it is people showing you attention in a, let's say they're not interested in your mind, they're interested in what you're showing them, it's still positive affirmation that there is something good about what you're doing. And it can be a bit addictive, but most importantly when you start, it's just positivity coming your way. And if most of us live our lives online, not in the real world, especially when you start, it's the only access you get to any kind of feedback. And it literally starts with me as feedback. There's a lot of people, posting, oh, very hot, all that kind of stuff, messages. And I don't kind of get like a warm, fuzzy feeling when I read them, but they add up together to a sort of, a kind of whole of good job. And it literally just comes down to, you've done a good job. And that's why people post pictures like this, regardless of whether they are more attractive than I am, less attractive than I am. A lot of people do this because you're looking for affirmation, you're looking for validation.
Mm.
You've done a good job. And it's not the more risque ones, like lingerie stuff, etc. Half the time it's to prove that you can wear it and look good. And then to your last comment, I'd quite happily do that for you, but it doesn't fit into what we do. So I would more than happily reserve that for you, but it's never really been on the cards as something that you would want to do. So I'm not saying I share this online because that's my only means. That's got nothing to do with it. But then it would need to be acted on. So that's where we have a bit of a cross. But I don't see it as like sort of online prostitution of myself. I see it more as as a recognition for whether you're doing a good job, whilst completely acknowledging that it is narcissistic. It absolutely is. Look at me. There is an element of that. You can't avoid it. I can't avoid it. I certainly know that's true. So,
okay,
we'll do a couple more, just very quickly, if that's okay with you.
Yeah, fine.
Good stuff. So, interesting question from Leanne. Some might be quick, not sure. Do you have a favourite look or outfit of mine so far?
Oh,
This is
I like that. There are a few, yes, but I can't remember on top of my head. I love that flowery, colourful dress you wore.
Yeah, it's Jane Norman. That's my Jane Norman, the one I wore to Pride, and I wore the same one to Kinky Boots.
Oh, okay. Right. That is the recent one on top of my head. But yeah, you have some I really think
summery,
they are really, really nice.
Above the knee, it's no sleeve, so it's off the shoulder, comes sort of just above the knee, and it's summery, and it's got sort of ruffles on the front, very colourful patterned, kind of a cream background, but with different coloured flowers and stuff. And they're quite large flowers. So nice. I'll stick it up.
So
there. I'll put it right there. so you can see this. Any others?
On top of my head, I'm struggling to remember your
The latex one with the boobs
outfits.
hanging out?
No.
Okay, just checking.
You had a few nice dresses like that. Oh, hang on. I love the light pink Jules tweed skirt and a white shirt on.
Oh, yes. Yeah, I'll find that one as well.
That is a very nice one.
I know which ones you don't like. You don't like the really figure-hugging pink one that looks like I'm naked because it's like skin colour.
Yes, it's like a skin colour.
Yeah.
It doesn't match your skin.
How do you feel about my black sequin dress, the one that I always wear? It's very short.
It's nice. That one is a nice
dress.
dress, yes.
Yeah, I can't think of any other ones that have made an impact recently. Okay, so not the latex. It's not latex.
No.
It's PVC.
Well.
My mistake. I'm a complete noob. So another question from Leanne Reid. Have you noticed a change in your husband since he's had a supportive outlet for expressing Juliette? More confident, more femme or masculine, happier or the same?
Yes, I think you are happier. You're a happier person. I think. Do you think I'm wrong?
No, I agree. I think we're, to be honest, I think we're happier. If you're the same and I'm happier,
then we are happier.
Collectively, we're happier. We're half as much happier as I am happier.
Very, very mathematical answer. Okay.
Yeah, it's getting quite Bilbo Baggins in here. So no, I think in general it's you're the one that's deep. Look, I'm the one getting to do the thing I've always known I wanted to do, or has always kind of been inside me. So for me, it's like all the time sort of happy, joy. For you, obviously, it's again something that you didn't know was there, was going to be there. So it's never going to be, as long as you're not getting less happy. That's the thing. As long as it's, maintained, and hopefully my being happier makes me nicer to be around.
Yes, it is nice. You became more social.
True, yeah.
That's
very true. I used to hate going round to people's houses, to friends' houses. I used to always try and get out of going to things. I'm not as bad as I used to be about doing stuff like that. I never wanted to go around to people's houses.
Yeah.
Also, I was a bit chunkier. Check out this photo for how chunky I was. This is back when my wife was trying to lose her pregnancy weight and she was giving it all to me. So yeah, I might put that picture of me at Stonehenge.
This is a nice dress as well.
Thanks.
I like the shoulder.
I think this is from... I was once told I look just like this person. Obviously not with this hair. But I was once told that I look just like this person. This is from the Holly Willoughby collection. I believe, the woman...
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Someone told me I look just like her.
Wow.
Holly Willoughby, I think, hand stitches these themselves. They don't just make them in, Asian and then stick her name on them. They're made by Holly Willoughby by hand. And she gave this to me personally. It's an eBay purchase, but it is by Holly Willoughby. Okay, so let's... I'll just finish off what Leanne wrote. She said, in case the missus does happen to read this, and I'll read it to you.
Right.
You can, obviously I've sent them to you anyway. I just wanted to give a nod of appreciation in regard to how much, Juliette, you've put into these discussions. Your channel is quite a gem, and so is its creator. Isn't that lovely?
Lovely.
Just a little pat on the back for me there. So, I have a question here. This is from Amilcar Deras. And Amilcar is originally from El Salvador and now lives in Texas. Have you ever found yourself in a situation where you've had to defend your relationship with me to anyone?
No, because I haven't shared it with anyone.
Exactly. So that's the future risk, isn't it? That you share it with someone who doesn't
Yes.
approve.
Yes, true.
What do you think you would do?
My first reaction would be, yes, I know it is not easy to accept if you are not into stuff like this. I wasn't aware of this when I got married. I didn't choose, but I support, I listened, I found out more, and I don't think you are doing anything wrong. If I had the chance, would I, from scratch, would I got married knowing who you were? I don't think I would, because I don't think it is fair. You deserve, I think you would be happier if you had a partner who was so into this kind of stuff.
I think that's like wishing for a partner made of solid gold. It's very rare. I know those people are out there, but to also meet someone who feels that way and is interested in you as an individual, not just you for what you do.
Right.
It's, I don't know, I never thought I'd meet someone who embraced it, because we met before I'd embraced it. You know, unfortunately, I hadn't really embraced it or owned what I was when we met. So,
but for example, if I was given a choice, who is like a football hooligan or drunk, or what's the word? Someone who keeps betting on stuff. Gambler.
Yeah, degenerate gambler.
A gambler or a crossdresser, and I have to choose one, I would go for a crossdresser.
Yes, and I'll say one
because
thing.
I don't see any danger. You don't lose yourself. I don't think you bring shame on this family. You would just raise questions by people who doesn't know what it is.
Yeah, the examples you gave, like an alcoholic or gambler or something like that, for me, the only problem with using them as examples of alternatives is that they're people who, by their own actions, will damage relationships. And they'll damage relationships because sometimes of what they do. So alcoholics or violent men, for example, will bring violence and damage and difficulty into the relationship. The way I view cross-dressing is more like being a big football fan, where you don't understand it, maybe you don't appreciate it, and I'm by no means a football person, but you might have to put up with watching a husband spend money on football stuff that you think is pointless, go out with mates on football outings that you think are a waste of time, prioritize social engagements that you're not invited to or you have no interest in over other things, wear special stupid clothing that looks stupid, and I'm paraphrasing here, but like football shirts and outfits and stuff that...
Yes, I see what you mean. I put, yes, the other options are violent, aren't they? So I could have said someone...
They're destructive.
Yes, someone who is, I don't know, like an endless comic book collector.
Yeah, someone who has an
Yes,
obsession.
yes,
Someone who
yes.
has an obsession, someone who has a
Mm.
something in their life. Because that's the way I view it, is that women all around the world put up with husbands who are obsessed with something. It might be their motorbike, and they spend all weekend outside cleaning their bike or their car, devoting time
A
saving
musical
up for...
instrument. Though,
Exactly.
yeah, we knew someone who had. Is it accordion? The one that you.
Yeah, a squeeze box. Yeah,
Not squeeze box, but yes, it's not squeeze box.
No, it's called a squeeze box colloquially.
Oh, and yes, that was his job. But apparently, he was collecting accordions as well. Gigantic things that needs to be looked after all the
There you
time.
go. People who collect stuff and who hoard them in the house
Yeah.
and spare bedrooms. You can't have people over because the spare bedroom has been dedicated to their, I don't know, violin collection or their silverware collection. And people do this stuff all the time. That's kind of how I view it. It doesn't hurt anyone.
Yes, yes.
Maybe you spend too much money on it. Maybe it's inconvenient and you wish they wouldn't do it. The difficulty is all those things are viewed as quirks and fine, whereas what I do is viewed as being somehow, it's always been like somehow shameful, mainly because it's okay for a man to be an oddball. It's okay for a man to be obsessive and quirky and weird, whether it's fishing or whatever else that they do, but not in any way that's feminine. So the minute it crosses a boundary into being non-masculine, it's not sports, it's not collecting, it's not, hunting or something like that, then it becomes a problem. And that's fair enough. I'm not saying that it shouldn't be a problem, but I'm saying I see it more in that category. Yes, and the other thing I was going to say is, I know for a fact that the you I met wouldn't have married me if I'd been honest. Because the you I met over 10 years ago is not the you I know now. So, it's, for example, it's harder to hear that you, for example, if you said now, but again, this is the point. Let's say we break up. What if you met someone and they said, hi, great, I'd love to take you out on a date. I'm a crossdresser.
America, yes.
Okay, yeah, it's Chris Evans, okay. And,
American Chris Evans, not
American
the British
Chris
one.
Evans, not the British one, yeah. So it's Captain America, okay, and he turns to you on your third date and says, look, I need you to know something about me, okay? I'm a crossdresser. Do you continue to date him as you are now?
Oh, it's Chris Evans though.
That's what I suspected. That's what I suspected.
Oh no, I don't know. I don't know. The main, well, no, I would say no, because if we separate, this would be the reason. Why would I go into another relationship? Unless you go mental on me one day and, you scare me off and I go off. But yes, if we get separated, this would be the reason. Okay. And I wouldn't go on.
So, a couple of things I'll take from that. Number one, realistically, even if I was Chris Evans, your ultimate dream man, I'd still be in danger as crossdresser. That's fine. That puts me in, I'm in Chris Evans territory. It's not a problem. Number two, so number two is, if he is a crossdresser, that rules him out if anything ever happens with us.
Yes, if John Krasinski gets divorced and meets me and reveals that he's a crossdresser, I would sadly say no as well.
Okay, all I'll say to you is, as we've established in the past, if we ever met them, I would be more than happy for you and me to try and break up John Krasinski and Emily Blunt.
Oh yeah, you take Emily Blunt.
And we'll go our separate ways. The arrogance of the plebs who think that they've got even half a chance with those two Hollywood stars, but there we go. Okay. Well, this is long. That's what she said.
Oh gosh.
Have you ever had any kind of sexual feelings, fantasies, desires for Juliette Noir?
It's for me, isn't it? No. Sorry.
Oh yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, have you?
No.
Okay. Nice and simple. Okay, that kind of concludes that one. Okay, so this was a question from Brandy. When you're with Juliette, do you find yourself comparing makeup or clothing choices as women do when they're together?
When you are Juliette.
Yes.
No, I do it when you are not Juliette as
True.
well. So yeah, you help me out with quite a few different makeup products.
True. I have, by necessity, a lot more makeup than you.
Yes.
Outfit,
I keep asking you to give some ideas, but you don't like going out shopping. That's the thing. When was that? 6 years ago? 7 years ago, we went to, was it John Lewis or House of Fraser? You picked
House of
me.
Fraser, we walked around looking at stuff.
The trousers I'm wearing are back then. I still have the top. It was a gorgeous, really interesting niche look you chose for me. I wouldn't have gone for it because I always went for more crazy colourful, a little bit. Not Vivienne Westwood, but you know.
Yeah, like a bit like a doll.
So that was a very unusual outfit. But since then, I asked you so many times to do shopping.
Well, I've always tried to
like
encourage
it.
you to get into more country casual. I said to you, all you need to have is a couple of nice skirts and a load of white polo necks.
Yes, I still couldn't find affordable. The ones I keep
Nice
finding
pair
are
of jodhpurs.
a what?
Nice pair of jodhpurs.
What is a jodhpur?
Horse riding trousers.
Oh, I
Bum-
have
the
that
bum looks great
upstairs.
in those. Really?
Yes, I used to do horse riding. I have my trousers.
We'll pop them on in a minute. So this is the last one. I want to get to this one by Kat and we'll stop here. This is from Catriona X. She's trying to understand how her wife feels towards her because she's been talking to her wife about stuff. So we've had a few conversations going backwards and forwards. She'd like to ask, how did you feel when you first find out about me being crossdresser?
Shocked and helpless.
Trapped.
Yes. But my first reaction is shock and what am I going to do now?
How about in the following weeks and months?
Oh, same. It took me years.
So should we just conclude today by talking about what we did then? Because we can talk practically about what we did. Because we went to counselling, for example. You wanted us to go to counselling.
Once, yes.
It's a waste of time. But
No, it wasn't waste of time, but I found it a bit pricey.
it was expensive.
Yes.
See, I don't think it was a waste of time, but I think for what you wanted, it was a waste of time because I found it really interesting.
Yeah, no, I thought it was interesting. It was the money I didn't want to keep paying for.
Well, I'll tell you how I remember it. And you tell me, because we had to, we went to Relate. So you kind of made it conditional. You really wanted this to be something that we did. And so you were, let's say, insistent that we do counselling. Okay, which, I have my doubts about, but okay, yeah, I'm more than happy to try something. So we went on to Relate, and we had to fill in our questionnaire paperwork thing. You filled in yours, I filled in mine. We had to get all that done, and then we sat down with the woman who was the counsellor, and we spent our money on that one session. And I'll tell you what my overriding memory of it was that she asked me some questions, and I came straight out and said, I cross-dress. I like to get dressed up as a woman. I do this kind of stuff, and I just screwed myself up to say I'm just going to say everything in one go, as plainly and simply as I can. And the only thing I kind of remember was your face, because I was looking at you the whole time, because she commented that I was constantly looking at you to see what your reaction was, kind of looking to see what was going on in your face, which her view was that it showed that I cared about what you thought, and that your opinion mattered to me, because I wasn't just talking to her as if to say, this is me, take it or leave it, and I don't care what this one thinks. I was constantly, that was the comment she made. And she talked about British people and about how there's a sort of a tradition of men dressing up, whether it's in theatre or, you know, pantomime dames and all sorts of stuff. There's a whole kind of subculture of men getting dressed up in British culture that's a kind of buried little thing. But she had a completely neutral reaction. She was just kind of, okay, fine. And
she was a lovely lady.
Yeah,
very nice lady.
Really nice. But what I got from that, and I always felt you got, but it'd be interesting to know, is kind of the experience of telling someone and having them just go, okay, not, oh my God. And, you know, she wasn't turning to you going, oh my God, how do you cope? This is dreadful for you. It's over. Leave him now. Which I almost felt like you expected. I always felt like you expected to get more of a...
I simply needed help, whether sporting what you do or not. I simply wanted someone to help me. No, yeah, I'm surprised that's what you were looking for. No. If that's what I was looking for, I have people around that I can go and say, this is what I'm going through, and they're
True.
Whether it's blood related or not.
But then they're people you know would be like that. I felt like it was a stranger, a person, the average person. And I guess from her perspective, they have to deal with far worse things, with, you know...
Now, her comment, the main thing I remember was, you still have feelings for each other. I can see that you're going to work on this. You can pass through this difficult time.
Some external positivity.
That was a nice thing from her. It gave a bit hope.
But you never, if you were looking for someone, you know, to help you, because we didn't go back to relate, do you think you got that from anywhere? Or did you work it out on your own?
Yeah, I was on my own.
So, what do you think would have helped more? A friend?
Yes, if I had the person we already shared with back then, that would have been interesting, because she sees both sides. So far her comments have always been like very complimentary about you, but also saying, I know how difficult it is for you, so don't forget that you what was it she was saying? You know, it is all right, don't forget that you have different feelings. It is okay to see this in a different way.
Yeah.
But yes, it would be nice if I had a friend like that back then.
Definitely. But at least you got them now.
Yes.
And we never really stopped talking, just
Yes.
sometimes a couple of months would go by before we'd properly discuss this stuff. And that was my thing, was, you know, even though we didn't do the relate thing, I didn't want us to stop talking, so I'd sometimes bring it up even when maybe you didn't want to talk about it, because it was...
yes, yeah, you and your speeches.
Yeah, I talk too much.
Sometimes.
So let's call it a day. Anything else you wanted to say today? Anything, a little speech? Do you want to...
Oh, I didn't prepare a speech.
Anything you want to say?
Oh no, I like these sessions. Bring it on if there are any more questions. It is, I'm looking at my clock. Oh, it's dinner time.
Yeah, got pizza to eat.
Oh.
Yes. So yeah, okay. So we'll call a halt to things there.
Thanks for asking questions. Sounds like you have very nice followers.
Thank you very much, and I'm sure they'll be appreciative to hear that. So one thing I'll just say, you haven't used it yet, but I did set you up with an account that you could log on to YouTube, and you can see the wonderful things and sometimes not so wonderful things that get written to me. So that's available if you want to use it.
Yeah, me with social media, I don't think I would. Especially busy life. Yes.
No, it's your call. It's there if you want to use it. And there are forums and other bits and pieces. So if you ever wanted to do something with, as has been suggested by some people, there are forums or opportunities where you could write your thoughts on blogs or something like that and contribute them.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't mind meeting people like wives of cross-dressers. But I really have tight schedule with my studies and everything. I don't have time to go online and manage questions or blogs or anything like that. But yes, once in a while, if there is a group meeting up here and there, I wouldn't mind meeting people in person.
Okay.
But yes, not online. Sorry, but not sorry.
Okay, no worries. Okay.
My Kindle.
Why are you in here?
Music.
You ruined everything.
Every time I come in here, do you need to start the video over again?
Yes, we have to start from the very beginning. They call me One Take Juliette. Come on, hurry up, you big punts. We're going to do pizza in a minute.
I know.
I'm going to...
Don't laugh. You come back home to be miserable.
What?
I don't know. She's 9. I'm sure it made sense to her.
Come back home.
So thank you for joining us here today. If there's anything you want to add in terms of comments, please do so in the comment section down below. You can also reach me through my email address, which is juliettesnoir@gmail.com. Feel free to like, share and subscribe. Click the little bell to stay notified about upcoming videos. And we look forward to talking to you all again soon. As ever, bye.
Bye.
Bye.